Yeah?
I thought you already made like 30 of those.
No. This is like the 5th one this week, okay? And I need to share all these information that I just received with the people out there.
You mean like the fifth one this day?
Just play your Mario. So if you pre-order the Sony a7R III from B&H right now, you'll be able to get the Sandisk 64GB UHS-2 SD card along with your camera. So seeing as how one of the dual SD card slot is UHS-2 supported, it is a nice inclusion. I mean, it ain't the uber fast Sony SD card, but hey, it's something. And if you already pre-ordered the Sony a7R III prior to this day, you can actually chat up B&H or send them an email and they will throw in this free SD card for you. So here are my personal recommendations for lenses and accessories before your Sony a7R III arrives. Unless you're a gas head like me and probably own a bunch of Sony lenses already, you can actually just skip to this part for the accessories. So the first lens that I would actually recommend is the one that's coming out along with the Sony a7R III, and that is the 24-105 f4 lens. Now this is going to be a great lens for beginners and pros because the 24-105 is the perfect focal length for any sort of run and gun shooting situations for both photos and videos. So if you're shooting events, weddings, children's sports, short films, etc., this is going to be good for that because essentially it is a kit lens for pro. For $1,300, it ain't too shabby. But if you have a bit of extra dough, I would recommend stepping up to the G Master, the 24-70 f2.8. Now this lens is very similar to the 24-105 that I was talking about earlier. It has all the characteristics of being a great run and gun lens, but it does fall short at 70 millimeters. But because this is an f2.8 constant aperture, you're going to get better bokeh and better low light results compared to the 24-105 f4. Now the next up is a prime lens, and people swear by this lens. They're saying that this might be the sharpest lens out of the entire Sony lens lineup, the Zeiss 55mm f1.8. 50mm, or in our case, the 55mm, is a sweet spot for full frame cameras. And just take a look at this lens. Just look how tiny this is. I've gotten some amazing results shooting with this lens for both photos and videos. Trust me, if you need a prime lens, you won't regret getting this one. As for my last lens recommendation, since we are picking up a high resolution camera, no doubt we're going to shoot a lot of portraits. So the portrait lens that I would recommend is this ultimate budget portrait lens right here, the 85mm f1.8. Now for those of you who don't know, I actually sold the G Master counterpart of this lens just because this one is good enough. And I mean, look at this size, man. It's like half the size of the G Master. I actually go into way more details comparing the Sony 85mm, so go ahead and click up here to watch that video. Now let's talk about some of the accessories that we need to pick up before the Sony a7R III arrives. So first item on the list is actually a screen protector, and trust me, you are going to need this because the Sony a7R III is also not a fully flip out articulating screen. Your screen right here is actually exposed to scratches. I've seen so many a7R2s and a7S2 screens get wrecked, and people would have to pay a couple $100s just for Sony to fix their screen. Do yourself a favor, get this screen protector right now and save yourself hundreds of dollars. Personally, I use the Sony brand ones for all of my Sony cameras, and I've never had an issue with them. Except this particular one for the A9 and the a7R III is actually slightly more expensive for whatever odd reason. But hey, $30 screen protector versus $300 in screen replacement, it's a no-brainer. Now, I'm going to assume the Sony a7R III is only going to come with one battery as opposed to the two that came with the a7R II, which makes a lot of sense because the new battery promises twice the capacity of the older ones. So you're going to need to pick up extra batteries, and I would recommend at least 2 more. It's just always good to have multiple batteries, especially when you're out shooting a gig and you definitely don't want to be shooting with just 2 batteries. Ideally, always having the batteries charged throughout the day is a good idea. Unfortunately, there are no third-party battery options right now, so we're stuck paying for the expensive Sony ones. But hey, these are the ones that you can trust that will last for years to come. And since we're going to be picking up extra batteries, we're going to probably want an extra charger. And again, I'm assuming the A7R III will come with one wall charger, but it's nice to have another one so we can charge multiple batteries at the same time. Just a couple more things on the list. I've always hated the default neck straps that come with the camera. Not only are they a pain to put on the camera, but they're also extremely hard to adjust as well. That's why I recommend this Peak Design neck strap right here, because you can easily attach and detach it from your camera. Boom, look how easy that was. And look how I just need to adjust it. Boom, pull this, and done. And this can be a shoulder strap as well. Obviously not struggling. There we go. So anytime that I want to shoot photos, I can put this strap on. Anytime I'm shooting a video on a tripod, I can just easily attach the neck strap and it won't get in my way anymore. But if neck strap is not your thing, then I would recommend this hand strap right here. This one is also by Peak Design, and you can probably guess what it does. This actually secures the grip that you have on your camera, and I would much prefer using this when I'm shooting photos, especially for gigs. And those are my recommended lenses and accessories for the Sony a7R III, and I'm pretty darn excited for mine to come in later this month. But I think this will be my last a7R III video. Until then.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, guys, if there's any accessories or lenses that you think I should have included in this video, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.